It helps them to remember that they're more than this body, more than this mind, that you're something divine. It helps you to remember that you have a loving connection with God. And so bhajan, bhakti, it gives us an opportunity to find those three things: identity, connection, and purpose. Anything good you see in me is my teachers, and anything bad you see in me is me. Go on actual holidays, go on holy days. But once a year, take 10 days to reserve for spiritual discovery.
Having said that, it's a solo journey, right? And playing around the stresses of the environment, playing around our own sorrows, our own personal losses. How does one keep their head intact in a world which is lonelier than ever?
It's like we're always looking for a this or that. We're always looking for be like this, don't be like that. And I think the reality is we got to be this and that.
We've been told I'm that OG 90s kid, right? If you cry, you're not a man, yeah? So how does one, especially a man, I would say, what's lacking? What's the deficit that we're going through?
Mother Teresa says it best. The need of every living entity is to love and to be loved.
If I'm chanting a name in singularity and I'm one, how do I encompass myself into the world of spirituality through chanting? It's just a dialogue happening between Krishna and Arjuna. What's the metaphorical essence of Bhagavad?
Karma Yoga, there's Jnana Yoga, then there's Bhakti Yoga, which is the topmost of the ladder, which is devotional. So to engage your body, your mind, and words in the service of God.
Welcome to Radio Hanji, 1674 AM. We are the only Bollywood or let's say Hindi radio channel in Australia that works 24/7. It's an honor and privilege that I have you here. Have heard a lot about you, seen all the reels and all the beautiful talks that you do over your YouTube. I'm a fan myself. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
So we'll get this going. I've been told by Miss Brady that we are on a very little time slot. You are a busy guy. I have got lots and lots of questions. Before I start, I would I would want my audience to have a quick introduction. So, who was Radhika Das before the beads and the bhajan and the Bhakti Yoga?
Before the beads, the bhajan, and the bhakti, I was a simple fellow and trying to remain so, who was trying to find a connection, trying to find love, trying to find happiness in this world, as I think most, if not all of us in this world are. I was a teenager at the time, and I'm just remembering my life before everything. I was looking for happiness. I was looking for something. And I think that most of us try to find it in our jobs and occupations and families and money and in materialism. Yeah. And I also was trying to do the same. And I think beads, bhajan, and bhakti, as you said it so nicely, gave me a life less ordinary.
So, like you said, everyone is trying to find happiness. Everyone is trying to, that dopamine influx in them every single second. What bhakti does to a person who is seeking?
What bhakti does for a person that's seeking, it helps them to remember that they're more than this body, more than this mind, that you're something divine. It helps you to remember that you have a loving connection with God. And ultimately, it helps you to find your purpose, to serve, to engage with others in a mood of loving service. And I think that these are three things that people are looking for outside of bhakti as well. They're looking to find themselves. They're looking for love and true connection, and they're looking for purpose in this world. And so bhajan, bhakti, it gives us an opportunity to find those three things: identity, connection, and purpose.
The way you speak also, these are just sentences, right? But I can feel the smoothness in your talk. It soothes, right? Right? And how does that happen? How does one get to a place which gives you clarity in your tone, also in clarity in your what you want to say, also and clarity in your head? How does one?
Well, anything good you see in me is my teachers, and anything bad you see in me is me. So I've got a really, really good anchoring in some wonderful gurus, guides, teachers that know the way. They really know the way. They really show the way, and ultimately they go the way as well. They're not just preaching for the sake of preaching. And so I was fortunate. There's a lot of how we would call bogey yogis in the world.
Oh yeah.
And I got fortunate that I found, and also see, like, I was very discerning. I was really wanting the truth. I wanted to find the essential truth of this world. And so I think my search and my discernment, I was able to navigate between teachers. And then when I found practices that really connected me, then I went all the way. I really tried to absorb myself and to be around those teachers a lot. And so I would say, if you're really looking for the truth, find good teachers.
Come to your point, I was in a place once in my life that I literally Googled top monasteries in Ladakh because I wanted to visit there also. And the way you coined that term, which was so good, bogey yogi, in a world of so many bogey yogis, how to find a teacher, how to find a spiritual guide?
Very good question.
But I know that he is not a bogey yogi.
Yeah, I would say you're not going to find him on Google, that's for sure. Because I think here's the reason why. I don't think God wants us to find him cheaply or to find them cheaply. I think in a world where everything's on our fingertips, where we're constantly able to find food and holidays and new iPhones and reviews all on the fingertips, to find genuine spiritual connection, it takes more than that. It takes a desire, like a deep-seated desire for you to go and find an adventure and look for it. And so I think that anyone that's in search for it, go on actual holidays, go on holy days. But once a year, take 10 days to reserve for spiritual discovery. Go to India, go to Vrindavan, go to Mayapur, go to Rishikesh, go to the Himalayas, go to the churches of the world, go to the Buddhist monasteries of the world, go to the Gurudwaras of the world, and just serve. Don't look for entertainment. Don't look for pleasure. Look for an opportunity to serve. Because when we serve, the Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that when we engage in service, that builds the qualification for spiritual knowledge to enter into our hearts. Don't try to see God, but try to serve in such a way that God sees you. And I think that's what's missing when we go on pilgrimage. We always want to give me something.
Yeah.
I want something. But rather,
it's all
if we
about
go,
offering.
I'm here to give you something.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what's in my pocket. It's about using my mind, using my words, using my actions in such a way that serves. And then the glance, the loving glance of God will surely be on you, no doubt. And then you'll find authentic teachers. Then you'll find sincere people, practitioners.
Yeah.
So if you're in search, go on holiday and serve.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very good analogy of looking at things like that. And almost all the religions of the world, not even almost, like all the religions of the world, they basically say, right, to serve the humanity and to offer yourself in service of humanity, and you will find yourself on a good path or a path that you should be on. This is said, and then we see such a humongous amount of increasing fundamentalism all around the world. How do you view that?
I think we're always going to find extremes. I think we're always going to find people that are trying to push their agenda onto. I think in the end, ultimately, it's between you and your God.
Yeah.
So it's not about joining an institution. It's not about joining a movement. It's not about joining a religion. It's not about joining a political party. That's only surface deep. That gives you community, and that gives you people that are included in your cause. But I think ultimately we have to find our own solo and solitude mission. I think that's what life is about. It's not only about family and community and others, because at the end, the most amazing thing is in this world that we see death happening all around us, but we never think it's going to happen to us.
Yeah.
And when that time comes, everyone drops to the knees, everyone drops the heart and goes, I wish I'd spent more time in the pursuit of personal connection. Because it was always between you and God, you know?
Yeah.
So don't worry about all the different movements of this world and people who are fundamentalists, but rather try and find your personal connection. It's a solo journey.
Yeah. Having said that, it's a solo journey, right? And playing around the stresses of the environment, playing around our own sorrows, personal sorrows, our own personal losses. How does one keep their head intact in a world which is lonelier than ever?
And this is where your previous question comes into play, that try not to be a fundamentalist, but at the same time, value community. It's like we're always looking for a this or that. We're always looking for be like this, don't be like that. And I think the reality is we got to be this and that. So when we're looking for longevity in our spiritual search, when we're looking for, okay, I want to spend my whole life doing this. It's not just a 10-minute thing. It's not just a 1-year program, but I want to spend my lifetime remaining in a good fundament. Then go and find good friends, go and find association, go and find people who you can do that with. Because alone you'll go really fast, but together in community you go really far.
Yeah.
And so it's about, this balance. And see, let me give you an analogy for this balance.
Yeah.
When you're on a plane, on an airplane, did you know that 80% of the time the pilot is not on the dotted line? He's not on, they're not on the telemetry. You know this, you see the dot.
Yeah.
80% of the time they're a little bit this way,
yeah,
or they're a little bit this way, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit low in altitude, a little bit high in altitude. They're trying to balance constantly. And that's what life is about. It's about knowing, okay, I'm conscious enough, aware enough of the thing that I need right now. So do I need community? Do I need spiritual community? Or do I need some solitude? Do I need to go on my own solo search? Both are required. It's not a this or this, it's a this and this. So when you ask about remaining anchored, then community does this.
And to push this through, what do you think is the deficiency in the human today? Is it the lack of self-esteem or the lack of confidence that you're not going out to the community, asking them to make them part of themselves, or asking out for help? Especially in men, I see we've been told, I'm that OG 90s kid, right? If you cry, you're not a man. Yeah. So how does one, especially a man, I would say, what's lacking? What's the deficit that we're going through?
Mother Teresa says it best. The need of every living entity is to love and to be loved. See, as you were speaking specifically about men, I think that previously we were told that the way in which we show our love is by providing shelter, food, and a good income for our families. And this is, I'm speaking stereotypically for men of the Indian culture.
Yeah.
We were told that we need to provide, and then that's showing love. And I don't disagree with that. I just think that we need to then also open up our emotional selves as well. And I think that's where spirituality does help. I don't think spirituality forces us down a box and into a boxing situation where we're all the same, we all shave up the head, we all wear robes, we all eat the same food. No, I think that true spirituality means to discover yourself, to find who you are, to find how you can serve in this world, to find out who is God for you. And so I think what's lacking, when we go back to the original, what's lacking is that we don't know how to love. We don't know how to receive love. And I think Bhakti, I think this culture of Kirtan, it teaches us how to do that. And it's so simple. All you got to do is start by chanting. All you got to do is stay with the sound. See, I've heard of men who are very macho and brutish, who when they come to Kirtan, they're crying with desperation and longing to connect with God, crying because they feel that for so long they've had no place to be able to place their heart in safe hands, crying because they just feel so lonely. And I think that this chanting, it fills you with a transcendental relationship, a divine relationship, which then causes you to feel, oh yeah, I'm loved. God loves me. Ram loves me. Krishna loves me.
Yeah, beautiful. See, I see my mother. She's got a very special relationship with her own God, right? And then I look at her and I'm like, can I be that person ever?
No.
Right? It's hard to understand.
Yeah, you'll never be that person. You have to be who you are.
Yeah. And then so just tell me that you have gone through that circle, yeah? You must have gone to a Kirtan for the first time. You would have had questions for yourself, and then you are someone who does it now, right? After going through this circle, and I'm pretty much sure there's a lot to learn for you also, right? But whatever you have learned, what do you think chanting really does? What's the science behind it? What's the science behind if I am saying Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Rama, Vaheguru? If I'm chanting a name in singularity and I'm one, how do I encompass myself into the world of spirituality through chanting?
Sound alters consciousness. When we listen to music when we're at the gym, it creates an energy. When we listen to music when we're cooking, it creates an environment, an atmosphere. When we listen to music when we're in love, it creates a heartfelt emotion. Sound alters consciousness. And so through the chanting of these names, through the meditation on the sound vibration of these names, it creates an awareness that we are more than just this material body. When we chant the names of God, divinity, binatvan nama namino, God becomes present immediately. Nama chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukto binatvan nama namino. This is in the Harinam Chintamani. It tells us how by chanting we come directly into the presence of God. You may not see, you may not believe, but this is what's happening. It creates an awareness, it creates a consciousness of the fact that you have always been intimately connected with that Supreme. And so don't worry about doing it the way your mom did it, how your grandmother did it, how your grandparents did it, how your father did it, how your brother, your sister's doing it. Realize that this is your connection with your God, because that's what's going to be there at the end anyway. So might as well cultivate that from now through the medium of sound.
Also, I've got the other day I was watching a YouTube video, and it was more or less a talk, but it was more or less a debate over atheism and spiritualism. And one of the guys who was atheist, he's a well-known writer back in India also, right? He said something which was quite powerful as a sentence, I would say. He said that spiritualism is the debris of religion. What's your take on that? Very smartly worded quote though.
Yeah. I think that we live in a world where we have unfortunately changed the names of such things because we want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let me explain this.
Okay.
I've got children.
Yep.
When I give them a bath and it's finished, the dirty water, I let it go down the drain.
Yeah.
But I don't throw my child out with the water.
Yeah.
And what we've done with religion is we've taken the essence, renamed it as spirituality, and tried to throw out the dirty water. And it has worked. There has been a lot of people that now consider themselves spiritual because they don't want to be tied to any institution, any impressions of the past, any wrongdoing of leaders. And therefore we just call ourselves spiritual. We don't call ourselves Hindu. We don't call ourselves Buddhist or Sikh or Muslim. We call ourselves spiritual. Because we're trying to throw out the dirty water. But I want to throw caution to the wind here. The same thing is likely going to happen again. Because I think as human beings, sometimes we depend too much on institutions and spiritual communities. We depend too much on that. And therefore, when there is any sort of, shaking earthquake in that movement, everyone runs away. But the essence, which is the baby, who is the main reason that you're there for, God, is the essence. And so if you look at the essential truths of all religions, what are they saying? They're saying, chant thy name, hallowed be thy name, love thy neighbor. Christian, I'm talking from a Christian perspective. Or in the Vedic, find yourself, discover that you're more than this body, chant the name of God. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam Kalo, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. These scriptures, when you read them, and I think that this is the real thing, that we rely too heavily nowadays on social media more than Bhagavad Gita. when we read the essence of these books, when we find the essence of what Krishna is saying in the Gita, then we see that actually it's not just about the movements, it's not just about the institutions, but we need to go a little bit deeper. We need to swim a little bit deeper. You know, like how in an ocean, the fish that swim on the surface, they quickly get captured by any birds that are flying above. The fish that are in the middle of the depth, any current that comes, they also get swept away.
Yeah.
But the fish that swim right at the bottom, at the bedrock of the ocean, nothing will shift them. Nothing will shift them. They remain anchored in their truth. They remain anchored in this essential truths. And so I think with your question, I think we have to see that religion and spirituality are just names.
Yeah.
We have to go beyond that and look for the practices. And then beyond the practices, we have to look at the essence. Beyond the rituals, spirits that are rituals, we need to go beyond that and see what's the essence. It's love. It's pure love.
So let me draw a imagery in front of you. You must know this imagery very well, more than me, although my name is Krishna, but yeah. So when he is on his chariot and then Arjuna is sitting behind right in the middle of battlefield, and he has to kill his own Bhishma Pitamas and the Kauravas and the Dronas of the world, all that chaos, and it's just a dialogue happening between Krishna and Arjuna. What's the metaphorical essence of Bhagavad that I know it's a long talk, we can speak about it.
No, I can summarize it in 3 points.
Yeah.
I'm used to trying to summarize because people want to get to the point quickly. It's 3 points. The Bhagavad Gita is about finding yourself. Dehinosmin yata dehi komaram yovanam jaratata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuyati. That you are not this body, that you are the spirit soul within the body. Second is to come to the essential point, which is once you realize that you're not this body, is to then do work, which is the soul work. What is the soul meant to do? When you realize that you're not the body, not just theoretically, but you deeply transcendentally understand that you're the soul, then to engage in the work of the soul, which is devotional service, to do some seva. And what kind of seva? There's karma yoga, there's jnana yoga, then there's bhakti yoga, which is the topmost of the ladder, which is devotional. So to engage your body, your mind, and words in the service of God. And then finally, to surrender all other things, to let go of the fact that there's so many things that you cannot control. There's so many things that you cannot do anything about, even though you may be serving the best you can, but there's some that will not be able to come to this message. So to surrender your desires unto the Supreme. And so I think it's really, these books are love disguised as philosophy.
Yeah.
That love disguised as philosophy. It's about getting to this point of falling madly in love with God.
It's brilliant how much ever I know. I believe there are so many parallels that we can draw from Bhagavata and Stoic philosophy, and these are both different worlds. If there's the same essence in the world, and what you are saying, if I start following it, and I guess we attract negative things more towards ourselves. So when I'm on a path where this body is nothing and soul is everything, and then my soul tells me that I'm a malicious being, I'm a failure, I have not done anything, or all the negativity that surrounds my soul, how do I come out of that? How do I tell myself, no, there's a long way to go, there's a discipline to follow? How do I do that? And living in this material world, we have to work, we have to eat out with the friends and whatnot.
I would say it's a very valid question, good question. I would say that don't see it as a discipline, see it as a taste. Like if I were to tell you to go to the gym and show you all the physiques that you could achieve if you just remain disciplined, then for some time you might do it, but if you don't enjoy it, you don't get any taste from it, then you're going to drop it after a few weeks. That's why so many memberships at the gym get cancelled after January, because everyone tries for a New Year's resolution, and then comes February and everyone drops it because the discipline, it doesn't follow through. People,
Yeah.
I don't think people will ever follow discipline. I think what people are looking for is when they have a taste. Like if I told you that you taste this beautiful, luscious cake, and I'm telling you it's really tasty, and you taste it, then for the rest of your life, you'll be looking in search for that. People travel all the way to Switzerland for chocolate.
Yeah.
People travel all the way to the Caribbean for the beach,
Yeah.
because they have a taste for it. And so what we have to develop is a taste for God, a taste for spirituality, a taste for this devotion. And that comes from this chanting. So when you chant and you see all these people that are really feeling a connection with God, then it's not a discipline anymore. It's not like you have to come to Kirtan on a Friday. I want to go. I feel the taste to go. I feel a connection when I go. And so that's what I think we have to chase for. Don't worry about discipline. First start with the taste.
Are there days where you don't feel like doing it, but now it's sort of work also, so you have to do it?
Well, it's the same as it's the same as brushing your teeth. It's like me asking you, are there days where you don't brush your teeth? No, because you know that when you brush your teeth, you have a fresh breath. And so I know that if I don't stay with the practice, I don't have a fresh mind. I don't have a fresh heart. I don't feel connected. I feel like I'm wasting my life. It's like that. It's like asking a rich man, do you feel that there's a need where today you don't need to make money? He has a taste for it. He will do it even in his sleep. You know, wealthy people are just like that. They see it everywhere. They see everything as an opportunity. And so as a spiritualist, I see everything as an opportunity. So I'm sorry if that means that people are like, oh, how will I do it? One name at a time. That's how.
And if I talk about experiences, I want to talk more about the Kirtan now and the experiences one could follow. What was that one experience that took you to this journey that you are on now?
Yeah.
Well, I went
in 2010 on a Bhakti retreat, and I wasn't convinced. I was kind of like charmed by a beautiful, charming monk, Jay Shetty, who's a dear friend of mine.
Oh yeah.
Before he was a famous man in the world, he was a just as famous transcendental monk, and he encouraged me to go on a retreat, and so I went. And I didn't really attend very much because I wasn't really inspired by it. But I just felt like, it's nice, I'll get to go away from my parents for a week. I was a young teenager, I'll get to explore the world a little bit. But on the last day, I decided to go to the Kirtan, and I get a text message from my girlfriend at the time. And she basically is saying in really short, it's over. She breaks up with me by a text message, which was heartbreaking for me. And so I decided there were a couple of options. One was I go to my room and I cry about it, or I try and find signal somewhere to try and reply, because in the mountains where I was, there was barely any signal. Or number two is I get stuck in on the chanting. And thankfully I chose option number two. And so there I was, jumping and dancing away. And at the end of the chanting, I went up to the Swami who was leading and facilitating that Kirtan. And I just told him, what was that? Like something there really deeply struck my heart and made me forget all my woes and made me feel really connected. And so that was the starting point of, I would say, a life less ordinary. And slowly, little by little, I just stayed with the chanting. When I was working, I'd have Kirtan on in the background. When I was cooking a meal, I'd have a little chanting going on. When it was Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, of course, I'd socialize with people, go out for meals and whatnot. But at the same time, I'd always leave space for a little Kirtan. And so when you absorb yourself like that, then slowly you find that becomes your life. The weighing scales, they tip almost, that you go, oh, okay, this is becoming my life now. And
I believe it's more or less like practicing being detached while you're still attached to your
basically,
surroundings. Yeah.
So it's exactly that. It's like, yes, I'm a spiritual being in a human body, but also not being so hard on yourself and realizing I'm also in a human body. Like there are some needs of this human body that need to be met as well. Some emotional needs, physical needs. This temporary body needs to also be looked after. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll find yourself getting really harsh. And that's what we see with spiritualists that initially join and find a practice, is they start artificially detaching themselves from everything, but then internally become quite hard-hearted and quite cold with other people. So that's where we have to kind of find the balance, and that's different for every person. There's no black and white on that.
It was beautiful catching up with you, Some great
Thanks,
talk.
Krishna.
I would love to have a longer chat with you when you are here.
Sure.
Hopefully that happens. And just before I go, tell me one thing. We are going to see you in a few months' time in Australia, right? What does a person expect at a Kirtan that is headed by Mr. Radhika Das?
Connection, joy, and calm. A life less ordinary.
Beautifully summed up. Thank you so much for your time, Radhika Das. I'm keenly waiting to see you in live and in flesh in
You got to be
Melbourne
there.
and in Sydney. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Any parting thoughts to our viewers at Radio Hanji?
Our culture has slowly been degrading for some time. And this chanting brings about a revival of consciousness to help you find your God. Not your grandparents' God, not your parents' God, your God. Come and chant with us.
Beautifully put. So yes, listeners, come and chant with us and find yourself. This was Radhika Das on Radio Hanji, 1674 AM. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.